Fudgy, rich, and so easy to make, these chocolate hazelnut brownies come together quickly, and that they are pretty much guaranteed to satisfy your chocolate hazelnut cravings. They are moist and gooey brownies studded with hazelnuts swirled with chocolate syrup on top. Now, who wouldn't love this? But there's a twist. I have made these brownies without using the all purpose flour. So, let's see how we do it. As I haven't used the all purpose flour, my next option is semolina. Now, I've taken the very fine version of semolina, which I'm going to grind it into my mixer and make a flour out of this. I have taken 1 cup of semolina here. All the ingredients are listed below in the exact measurements. Grind the semolina to a very fine powder. You can see how fine this is. You can always replace the semolina flour with the all-purpose flour in any recipes. I am going to swift my grinded flour for two reasons. One, because we want the very fine powder. Second, it's when we swift, we add an air to the powder. We want this to be light and not dense. This process is going to help our semolina flour match up the density of the all-purpose flour. Once your all semolina is in the bowl, next we're going to add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I'm using the Dutch processed Hershey's cocoa powder. The Dutch processed cocoa powder gives you the intense dark color of the chocolate as well as the slight bitter touch to the chocolate which will look in the brownie. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to use the Dutch processed powder. You can use the normal cocoa powder, but they will not look like the brownies that I showed you in this video. The color will be a little less brown than the brownies I have shown in this video. Mix this mixture very well and set it aside. Our dry ingredients are ready. Now let's get to our wet ingredients. You can take a bowl or a jar and add in some butter. I've used 175 grams of butter which is salted, simple Amul butter. I'm going to microwave this butter till it is melted and it's slightly boiling. I will also need a baking dark chocolate bar. I have used the Big Basket brand. You can use any brand which is available in your local store. My butter was at room temperature, so I microwaved it for 1 minute only. It was parboiling, so I've removed it out and I'm going to add the chopped chocolate. When we add the chocolate to the melting butter, the chocolate starts melting and makes a nice ganache. You can melt your butter and chocolate on a double boiler as well, but this is a shortcut method. After about a minute, you will see the chocolate has melted and mixed well with the butter. To make the chocolate more intense, I am going to add 1 small teaspoon of instant coffee powder. You can also add a shot of espresso, which you can make in your coffee machine or with some French press. Adding coffee to your chocolate does not make it mocha flavored, but it just intensifies the chocolate that you have added to the brownie. Next up, I'm going to crack some eggs into a bowl. I have taken 3 eggs. 1 egg is actually extra. It's because we are not using the baking powder. The sole rising agents of this recipe are the eggs. So 3 eggs are a must. Please use room temperature eggs only. If you use cold eggs, the temperature of the entire batter goes down and the baking process is slowed down. I have added 1 cup of caster sugar to this. You can also add half a cup of brown sugar and half a cup of caster sugar. Beat the egg and the sugar mixture till it is fluffed up to at least 3 times the quantity it shows in the bowl. At the beginning, whisk it on a slow medium speed and then switch it to the highest speed possible and whisk it for at least 5 to 10 minutes till you can see bubbles on the surface. Keep whisking it to further till you can see it has turned into a very creamy texture and actually makes ribbons out of it. You can see if you fold in, there are ribbons coming out of your egg. So that means our egg mixture is ready. Next step, we are going to add in our chocolate, coffee and butter mixture to the eggs and the sugar. Now, we are not going to mix it with the whisk. We are going to use a silicone spatula and use the cut and fold method to mix everything eventually. Say goodbye to your hand mixer or hand blender and the whisk and use only a spatula to mix this. Give around good 7 to 10 minutes. Mix it slowly till you see all the chocolate ribbons have gone. Mix well slowly till you can see the mixture has turned into a thick chocolate milkshake. Do not let your chocolates sit on the sides and on the base. The star of this brownies are these dazzling hazelnuts. These diamond little hazelnuts, I have chopped them into some pieces and some of them are whole. Do not finely chop them or make them into a powder. We want them to have their own identity into our brownies. Add these hazelnuts to the dry mixture and coat the dry mixture very well to these hazelnuts. This little step is going to help us have the even layers of hazelnut all across our brownies. If we do not do this, the hazelnuts will sit at the base when we bake and the flour will rise up. So to avoid this, use this step. Add the hazelnut and the dry mix to your wet mixture and fold it properly again. Gently and slowly, making sure you do not release the air that we have built in our eggs. Use the cut and fold method to incorporate our wet and dry ingredients. Yes, this is a little of manual job, but trust me, the results are worth it. A little pro tip here, since we are using the salted butter, I'm not going to add a pinch of salt to this. If you are using unsalted butter, then use a pinch of salt. You can see my mixture is ready and has little tiny bubbles escaping from my mixture. That means my mixture is so flapped up that is ready to be baked. I have a square tin here which I'm going to line up with my parchment paper. Since our brownies are fudgy and chewy, we are not going to add a grease layer to our pan. For brownies, we always use a parchment paper to release them from the pan because the texture of the brownies is not as same as the cake and will not come off easily. Cover your baking pan evenly with the parchment paper and add in the batter that we have made for our brownies. Use a silicone spoon and take off all the batter that has stuck to the sides of your mixing bowl. Once your batter is in the pan, make sure the top layer of the batter is spread evenly and has a flat layer. Pat your baking tray once or twice before you place it to bake. This process helps the last air bubbles to come out and bake evenly. Bake your brownies at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes in a preheated oven. After 30 minutes, when my brownies were baked, I had left them in my oven until they had cooled down. Once they had cooled down, I'm just going to lift the parchment paper and place the parchment paper on a plate. You can see how easily with the use of parchment paper, we can demold the brownies to a plate. Do not cut your brownies right away after they have baked. Give them a time to cool as these are fudgy brownies and we want the chocolate inside to settle in. You can see the knife is coming out. That means it is soft and moist inside yet evenly cooked. Cut your brownies evenly in a square shape and serve them. These chocolate hazelnut brownies are super fudgy and rich from a blend of dark and semi-sweet chocolate. These hazelnut provide some crunch and pair up so well with the chocolate that it becomes a favorite flavor combo. If you are a person who avoids all-purpose flour but is a big fan of brownies, cakes and chocolates, then this is your recipe. You can hog these brownies with some chocolate syrup or some Nutella on top. Or even take it to the next level by adding a scoop of ice cream with some chocolate sauce. Do write in the comments if you like my recipe. This is Ritika, your Bakasur Mama, signing off, and I'll see you soon with another chocolate recipe.